Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I fancied doing a little bit of stock car racing, and in this first race I'm using the Alfa Romeo 4C. I haven't done cycle production for a while and I'd just forgotten just how ruthless it is. There's a lot of bump and run going on and some really bad overtaking, but that being said, this first race does go quite well for me, so here we go, setting off from the second row. And I really do like these cars. It's a really nice track car combination. Getting a pretty good launch there. I'm not using clutch, so I think sometimes that can help get off the line better than other people. I do tend to use the racing line quite a bit when I'm doing cycle production. Not always, but I am here. Make a little bit of contact, but nothing too bad. I dropped down to second gear, which was a bit of a mistake. It's one tricky thing with these cars, knowing which gear to be in. And then you see here, I get some contact from behind once, and then the same guy again finishes the job, puts me right out. And the trouble with cycle production is when you get hit by somebody, it doesn't happen this time, but you can lose so many places just from one tiny bit of contact. If you're slightly slow through a corner, like I was saying before, it can be quite ruthless, this lobby. When everybody's using the same car, it's the pack really does bunch up. I'm under a little bit of pressure now, and then somebody's a bit slow for that penultimate corner, so I've closed right in with this guy. I get a small penalty, a little bit unfair, but it's only a half a second penalty, so I can live with that. I'm on the front foot now. I've got the tiniest of runs. I'm just going to see if I can pick up a little bit of slipstream. Funny thing about these cars is, like I was saying, you don't want to drop down to second gear for this first corner. You only really need 2 gears for this track, where it is a great car and track combination. So I made that mistake of going down to second gear again. Just got to use the torque for third gear. At this point I'm just kind of losing time to the leaders now, getting stuck behind this guy. Obviously I out-qualified him, so I imagine I will be faster than him. And I am conscious of that, and I'm wanting to get back past very quickly. Although at this point, he's not really holding me up at all. He's got pretty decent pace so far. So, as long as he's not going to hold me up, I am kind of happy to just sit behind for now and just wait for the right opportunity to get by. I don't really mind being sat behind somebody too much, as long as they've got decent pace. And I'm definitely far too far back now to attempt any passes. I haven't actually done cycle production for a while, so I'm a little bit rusty, but I've really been enjoying it. It's drifted wide, so I'm definitely going to be able to take advantage of that. That's good for me. Didn't really lose any time at all there, so I managed to get past him without any time lost, so that's absolutely perfect for me. And I can still see first place right through from where I am, right up to first place. Looks pretty close, which is another good thing. It's going to mean that they're going to slow each other down, which is going to help me. I seem to have the pace. It was 21 car lobby, now 20 car lobby, but still ahead of a lot of people, so that's a good sign. And as I predicted, the battling definitely seems to have slowed them down, and I've managed to catch up quite a bit, and there's still 2 laps to go. Just try to see if anybody's picked up penalties. It's always handy, although sometimes some of the penalties can be a little bit unfair. So yeah, I'm right on the back of the guy that pushed me out on the first lap now, and he's got a penalty, so that's good for me. Pretty much guaranteed to finish ahead of him now, so that's one consolation there. And it looks like he's just taken somebody else out as well. Just got cut off, unfortunately there. I'm going to stay behind him for now. Seems like he's got pretty good pace, and I'm not in too much of a rush to get by. Although saying that, he's made a big mistake, and again, no time loss at all, hardly any time loss at all, and I managed to get by somebody else. And the guy that pushed me off has got a penalty. I don't think it was for pushing me off, Seems quite strange sometimes, the penalties, the way they're handed out. Rax has made a bit of a mistake. Very fast driver. I've seen that team name to top of the leaderboards quite a lot of times. But I've got a bit of a run on him. And he's picked up a penalty as well somehow. So it looks like no matter what happens, I'm guaranteed to finish at least second, providing I don't make any big mistakes myself. I should just be within range to get that second place no matter what. But I'm still going to go for the pass anyway. I'll try and get the pass done on the track. It's always nicer to do it that way. Rax has made a bit of a mistake and I've definitely got the run. Just trying not to outbrake myself now. And now I've done it. And we're on the last lap. And I'm definitely within range to get that second place back. It's a shame there was that contact on the first lap, because I think I could have won this race quite easily. Definitely got some good pace here. Brought that gap down to the leader. But let's see what place we finish in the end. It's not a bad lap time. Not too bad. Yeah, in fact, fastest lap there. I think that's I got the fastest lap. It's not clean, but that's just because of slipstream. And I almost even took the win. The leader had a penalty there. And looking at the total time, I was just within a second. I think, had I not have got that penalty, and maybe just another lap, I think I could have got the win there. Definitely a good pace, so got the fastest lap. Yeah, a good race set in the end. And now we're moving to Sonoma, and I get to use one of my favourite cars, so I've got my own paint for this one. But this race didn't go too well for me. It is just a classic example of when cycle production can be quite bad. Although I have enjoyed the races that I've done here. So yeah, I got my braking a little bit wrong there, and I pick up a small penalty. I can definitely live with that. So you notice I'm in 8th position now out of 19. And somebody just comes in, as overtakes I was telling you about, and then there's loads of people all around, and then some guy just gets along the side of me and pushes me straight out. I tried to come back at him there, Tommy Cajon, but it doesn't really affect him, and then I get a bit of a fishtail and end up down in 18th place out of 19 now, from 8th to 18th, just in one corner. And that's just because of how close the racing is. Obviously, with cars that are all matched and drivers that are all quite good, you get very close racing. So if you make one small mistake, or if anything happens, then you end up losing so many positions, and then I get this ridiculous penalty. That's another drawback. I don't know even how I got that penalty. I think I was just trying to avoid somebody going sideways across the track, and I ended up getting a 2-second penalty. So yeah, this race is pretty much lost now, but we're going to go with it and just see how many people we can overtake. I'm just going to pretty much ignore that penalty now in my mind, although from what I can remember, I don't think it really affects the outcome of the race, fortunately. I don't think I lose any positions because of it, but it's just quite annoying. But yeah, we'll see how many people we can overtake. I do really like this car on this track, although it feels quite differently to how I've got it tuned in C-Class at the minute. I'd kind of forgotten how loose the rear was. So we're alongside somebody now, but it just gets ahead of me. I'm going to go for the cutback. That's quite nicely done. There we go. Down into 11th. Making progress. A little bit of contact there, but nothing too bad. And we're going to try and outbrake in here. See if I can get it done. Really helps to have a braking line on in this division, in this lobby. I'm just going to slot back in now. Try and take these S's as well as possible. Got it a little bit wrong. Like I say, I'm just not used to this car in its stock form. Although I might be able to look around the outside here. It's going to be a very tricky move to pull off. But yeah, that's pretty much done. Just making sure that the car turns in enough. And then I'm going to cover him off drift a little bit wide, but I should be able to hold it around the outside. Slight bit of contact, but yeah, we're away. It's a shame that I was taken out like that in the first lap, because I really do like this car, and I'm really looking forward to. I thought I could do quite well at this race, so it's a bit of a shame that happened. But all in all, I have enjoyed going back to cycle production again. I don't know why I haven't done it, come back to it again sooner really, because I do really enjoy it. I think the only thing is, if I could change anything, I think it'd be good to have some stock racing where instead of constantly changing around between all the different cars, if it just stuck with one class for a while, and then you could choose all different cars. Had to be set stock, all the cars had to be stock, but I think it'd produce some interesting races if you could, you know, maybe just stick with one class for a set amount of time and then choose all different cars. I think that would produce some good racing, because then there'd be a skill in knowing which car to use for which track. But you see, I've caught somebody up now, so I'm definitely still in the race, and we'll just have it as a bit of a overtaking challenge really, just see how I can do against some other people a bit further to the back. Just going to drop one gear here, down, and then brake nice and early. Try and get as close to that apex as possible, get on the power early as possible, and reduce that gap a little bit. This is tricky. Don't want to take too much curb on the left there, and then try not to get the wheel spin as you come over the crest. Another tricky corner, really difficult track really, just to get to that apex. To brake as late as you can but still meet that apex is difficult. And here, not take too much curb. It looks like as I'm getting a little bit closer to the front now, the people that I'm meeting are a little bit faster, so it's going to be more difficult to overtake people. In fact, we're on the last lap now, and then another difficult corner to get right, lots of undulations, and get plenty of brakes. You see two cars there, both drifted wide. That's easily done. Just got to make sure that you don't do that, and so all I've got to do now is just get nice and tight with this hairpin. And there we go, nice and early on the power, got a good exit, no wheel spin, and it looks like it's going to be a 6th position. And luckily I don't lose that 6th position because the other guy's behind, he's got a penalty too. So moving on to the next race, and this is a gem of a track car combination. Never even driven this car before, but yeah, it's absolutely great. It feels really tight to drive. It's got 4-wheel drive, so it's really get on the power nice and early coming out of the corners. And you see that's the guy there, Tom Cahoon, that knocked me off on the last race. We managed to get by him. He braked for some reason, braked a little bit early, and it's getting a little bit cosy here. He's not giving me much room, I'm not giving each other any space here at all. Then again, the guy that knocked me off in the last race is doing it again. He just seems to like to get down the side of you and spin you out. Really dirty. I'm not quite sure why. Not sure, like, because that was the first race that we were in, the last one. So that was pretty much the first time that we'd had a race. So there were no kind of past issues that I know of. But it definitely seems to be trying to push me out. And then I feel the pressure, and again, one mistake, and you're right down to the back. So it looks like it's going to have to be another overtaking challenge again. See how I can do. But yeah, I really do like this car. Like I say, I've never driven it before. I've never tried this one before. Never really even thought about using this car before. It's not the kind of thing that I'd usually use, the rally cars and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't feel like a rally car. There we go. I decided to lift out of that one and let this guy go past because he's one of the top drivers actually. He's really fast, and I was just interested to see. I didn't really want to hold him up, but I was interested to see pace wise how I could do against this guy because, like I say, he is one of the top drivers. Really fast, got a lot of pace, so we'll see if we can keep up with him. He's getting a little bit held up at this minute, but I'm sure it won't take him too long to get by. See, he got on the power so early there, very impressive. And this guy seems to have just moved out of the way, although he's not completely giving up on me. Looks like he's going to go for a move here, and I've got my braking point slightly wrong there. I think the braking line's slightly wrong there. The brakes, I broke a little bit early there. I got that one nicely, but I have lost a lot of time to the fast driver already. I don't know if maybe he's going to get held up again by this guy, next guy ahead, so I might be able to close up the gap again, although I drift quite wide here and I'm not sure about how to take this hairpin in this car. I got it a little bit wrong, in fact quite badly wrong there, and again I'm just going to lose loads of time. Hopefully next time I can get it a little bit better. Just to do a quick reminder to let you know that I will be doing some stock racing of my own. I'm going to host some stock racing in June, so just keep an eye out for that. Okay, so somehow we managed to catch up with the pack again. It's got quite tight between them. It's going for a bit of a bad move there, and it's given me the opportunity to get down the inside. I don't want to cut that corner because I don't know how much it can take, but I managed to get that move done. I don't think it was quite on, but it did give me the space there. I don't know if he's going to come back at me here. Yeah, it definitely is. That move definitely wasn't on, but I think the braking line is definitely wrong there. And here's the guy that kept hitting me at the start of the race. He's still doing it. He's got this really sneaky tactic of just hitting that at the back of the car and just trying to spin it round, just coming in at the side there, and he's managed to get ahead because of that, which is quite annoying. I might have actually had the chance to win this race, possibly. I was quite close to the leader, but it was my own mistake in the end that put me back. Tom Cajon has got a penalty though, so I think if I can just stay close I might be able to take that position off of him, which will be quite nice to get that back. I'm just trying to stay within range at this point. I'm going too wide at the roundabout. There's no way to really get through fairly there. Definitely seems to have a little bit more speed than this guy. Like I was saying though, it's difficult to cut that corner as much as you can without having the track limit markers on. Getting a brake too early there, although he's drifted wide and I'm going to be able to get alongside on the exit. You can't use all that exit there unless you want to get a penalty. I'm going to take it round the outside, look for the cutback. It's been really slow, so I didn't manage to actually get that cutback then. But we're on alongside again. He's got more of a penalty now. And he's not giving me much room, and I've had to cut the track a little bit, but luckily I don't get a penalty there, and I managed to get through. So I'm quite glad about that. He's trying to come back at me, he's trying to hit me again. Just can't stop hitting the back of my car. But yeah, it looks like I'm definitely going to be able to finish ahead, which is one good thing. At least that's one consolation to the race. And there we are in 7th place. And now we're going to have to watch this race from a replay because my Elgato wasn't running for this race. But it's quite good to watch it from a replay point of view. You see just so many people there, and the guys ahead just kind of caught me out by surprise, and I ended up going into the back of somebody there. Not on purpose obviously, but yeah, just kind of caught me out, and there's so many people going off, making contact there, a few more there, and then somebody going completely sideways for some reason. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring this race because it was a bit of a crazy one. I'm so bad at this track. I just don't know this track at all. I don't think I've ever hot lapped like Bathurst. Although I managed to outbrake somebody. And again, there's just loads and loads of people going off there. And somebody going sideways, somebody going backwards. Now look at that, somebody going backwards up the track. And I just managed to get round him, luckily, but I lose 3 positions there. And then somebody comes around the outside and pushes me into the guy that made well, it were a bit of a daft move on the left hand side there. To see that from his point of view. So yeah, he comes, just completely misses his braking point by the looks of it there. And then there's the guy here. This is the guy that tries to dive bomb me. So it's going down the inside there and then ends up getting taken out. So that didn't work out too well for him. And yeah, completely loses out there. And then I think I don't do too badly out of this one. I hit the wall, but lose a couple of positions, but not too bad. At least I managed to keep going. And then there's somebody crashing again. It's going to be tricky to get by though, because this section's so narrow. I think caution is the best thing to use. A combination like this with this car, it's really difficult to drive. Somebody just rejoined in there, and then another person, so I've made up a few positions there. Although he goes through the sand, but just about manages to get away with that one, stays ahead. And it looks like there's a couple more people crashing. I'll start to get some pressure from behind. Although there's somebody slow in front of me, and the person behind doesn't really see that and just goes straight into the back of me. But I get a little bit fed up with him, so I'll push him out because he hit me a few times there, even though I had somebody slow ahead of me. It wasn't really on purpose, but I don't feel too bad about that one. So it looks like we've finally got into a bit of clean air now. And this is a really difficult corner to get right, even though it's just a slight kink. At those kind of speeds in this car, very difficult. And there's a load more people going off there, and some people rejoining and getting back up to speed now. That's one of the Raxa guys ahead there, really fast. Somebody rejoining and completely losing control. And now I'm behind. I think this is the guy ahead of us now. This is the one that pushed us out at the Mugello race. This is the guy that pushed us out at the Mugello race for no reason. They were just driving really badly. Don't think I'm going to have enough speed to get by. I got the feeling that even if I did have enough speed to get by though, it would be one of those kind of people that moved across on you and kept blocking. But I probably won't have gone for it anyway. I'm just going to sit behind him and just see if I can pressure him into making a mistake. I think it's probably the best way to do this, and it looks like I've done that. It's such a difficult track, especially in this car, that sometimes if you just sit behind somebody, you can make them make a mistake. So like I say, I think caution is the best tactic here. I'm driving slightly under what I normally would, maybe like 90%, just to make sure that I don't make any mistakes. I think you lose more time from trying to drive as fast as you can at this track. But you can see he's getting really close now, and I'm taking just about as much speed as possible. But I think he's trying to put me off, and he's succeeded in doing that. So I'm just going to see if I can do the same thing sit behind him and try and pressure him into making a mistake. He seems to have broken away from the main group now, so I've not got too much pressure from behind now. And we're coming up to that right hand kink, which is really difficult to get right. So I'm just going to come off of the gas, turn slightly, and I've just about managed to get that right. And try not to brake too late here, like most people do. Even though I don't know this track very well, if you just don't make any mistakes, you can do quite well here. So, coming on to the last lap now. Nicely on the brakes, hitting the apex nicely there. My car is absolutely ruined, unfortunately. I'm quite far back again now, so I've got a little bit of work to do to try and bring that gap down and put that pressure back on. Just got to try and pressure him into making mistakes. I think the main thing is that we're clear of the main pack, and I make a slight mistake there. Just kind of lose the front end. But we're not too far back. It's definitely still in it. And don't forget, penalties are on as well, so you've got to be careful not to pick up any silly penalties as well from corner cutting. Although the walls at this track mostly stop that from happening. Try not to brake too late here. Really difficult section. It's a track that I should really do a little bit more of. I should get better at this track, because I'm so far off the pace at this track. And it looks like he's made a bit of a mistake there, although I haven't managed to close the gap in too much. One more time, the last time. I've just got to get this right hand kink right. Just takes the tiniest slight bit of steering to the right, off of the gas, and then back on again. And it looks like both drivers ahead have made mistakes there. Tried to take too much speed through that corner, and I've got alongside him, but just at the wrong moment somebody's rejoining the track and I had to back out of it. But for me, it actually turned out to be not such a bad thing. So you got the guy ahead of me, that's the guy that pushed me out at Mugello, and we're alongside, and then this guy, he's rejoining the track there, and I'm thinking, oh, I've lost it here, but luckily for me, I did back out of it, because he's just taken them both out, and I'm just going to sit back here and just watch this unfold. And there he goes, he's taken him out. I'm not sure why, if there was any reason for it, but yeah, he did. And yeah, I got that position quite nicely there, and that's the end of the race. But yeah, it's been fun, and yeah, maybe do a little bit more cycle production. I love driving stock cars. I really do enjoy driving stock cars. It's a shame that you can't do it in normal class lobbies where you can mix and have different variation of stock cars but still all be quite competitive. It's a shame there's nothing like that. It'd be great to see maybe a touring cars division or something like that, you know. Could even be like over different periods, you know, like 70s, 90s, 2000s, and have like all different touring cars. That'd be really good to see, where all the cars are balanced like they would be in real life. I think that'd be really interesting to do that. There were some classic cars, you know, like that yellow Renault Laguna, and then there were the blue Ford Mondeo. Yeah, it'd be great to see some cars like that in the next Forza. But we'll see. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you did, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.